Hello and welcome to Perspectives, where we'll take a deep dive into the issues of the day and where we'll take a look at people's opinion on such issues. I am Ruth Osime. Welcome back to Perspectives here on Arise News. Today, we bring you a conversation that sits at the intersection of faith, creativity, and public discourse. Matters that touch the hearts of many in our society. At the center of this discussion is Iniedo's latest film, A Very Dirty Christmas. The movie tells a story about events that unfolded during the Christmas season rather than exploring the religious ideology of Christmas itself. Yet, much of the attention it has received focuses not on the narrative, but on the symbolism of its title. This has sparked heated debate about interpretation, intent, and the boundaries of artistic expression in a deeply religious society. Public opinion is sharply divided. Some argue that the backlash is disproportionate, a case of using a sledgehammer to kill an ant, while others feel that certain words in a title can carry weighty implications and must be handled with care, whether intentionally provocative or entirely innocent. Today, we explore not only the storyline of the film and the issues that have brought it into the spotlight, but also the economic, professional, and personal tolls for the filmmaker and her team. We will examine the broader conversation about how art, faith, and public perception coexist and sometimes collide in Nigeria today. We're heading for a short break, but stay with us because coming up shortly is a conversation proper with our distinguished guests. Reverend Yakubu Pam, Joseph Edgar, and Nollywood screen siren Iniedo. Perspectives will return in just a moment. Welcome back to Perspectives here on Arise News. Well, let's now quickly get to meet my guests on Perspectives today, including Reverend Yakubu Pam, Chairman, Northern Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and General Superintendent Assembly of God, Northern Nigeria. We also have Joseph Edgar, a social critic, columnist, and theatre producer, known for his sharp takes on governance, culture, and the absurdities of Nigerian society. And last but not the least is the woman at the center of today's subject matter, Iniedo, a celebrated Nigerian actress, film producer, and philanthropist with more than 100 films to her credit, both on screen and behind the camera. She's also an award-winning trailblazer and a global cultural ambassador. I'm delighted to have all of you here with me on Perspectives today. But well, before we begin to unwrap the meat of this conversation proper, let's take a sneak peek of the movie at the center of this entire controversy.
You got married before Clara. She should be the one bringing home.
My family are away on Christmas. We want to get to December.
You have been begging for my attention, and now you have it.
You have blamed me for our childlessness.
Because I have something he wants.
What did you send it to? Hey!
I'm a private investigator, baby. This is what I do.
You do beautiful. What do you see?
Nothing. Terrible skin. Hey! This is Jack.
For God's sake, what is your problem? Stop acting and face your problems!
Even you?
Yes!
Even me?
I will never cede my territories to you.
I intend to make some introductions at the table. Set up a place for some business transaction.
That seems like an action-packed movie. Okay, let me ask you, Ini, for viewers who haven't seen the film, can you clearly explain what A Very Dirty Christmas is about, the central message of the story, and also how you feel about Cannes' decision to ban it, to call for it being banned?
Good morning. Well, the film itself, it's a film that dwells on a family dynamic, a family controversy, something that happens in a family during the period of Christmas. It talks about, of course, secrets being unveiled, certain things, just all the shadows that this family, the cobwebs that this family has had over them, and how this period sort of sheds light and exposes all of the things that this family had been covering. So it's a time where secrets come to light.
Go ahead.
Secrets come to light, there is family reconciliation, there is forgiveness, there is, you see the family dynamic come back together in spite of all of the chaos. So it's really about love, it's about forgiveness, it's about just exposing the ills of the society that actually happened in this particular family during Christmas.
So it has nothing to do with the ideology of Christmas itself.
No,
it's just an incident that happened during Christmas.
An incident that happened to a particular family during Christmas, yes.
Okay, let me ask you, Edgar, from a cultural standpoint, how powerful are titles in shaping public perception?
Okay, for a society that is now beginning to look like a one-minute society, where people just look at the titles and make conclusions without actually taking time to either go. That's what we face as columnists, So when you put a title, you know that most people will not read the body of the
just like not judging a book by its cover.
By cover, God bless you. So right now we're in a society where things are being judged by its cover. Do you get me now? So when you have a movie like this, with that kind of a title, so you would expect something like this.
Oh, okay. Let me get to Reverend Pam in the house, please. Reverend Pam, welcome to Perspectives. I want to ask you, what specifically about the title A Very Dirty Christmas prompted Cannes' response? And do you feel Cannes speaks for all Christians or primarily represents its leadership culture? Do you think that you don't think it was too harsh? Do you think that decision to ban it was a bit too harsh?
Okay, Ruth, thank you for having me. I will start by saying that Christians do not oppose any movie at all, especially the creativity industry. The Nigerian creativity industry is one of the best globally. It has advertised Nigerian globally, and we're so proud of it. However, the major controversy here is the title of the movie that attracted this. Christmas is not just a mere festive label. It is sacred. It is the birth of Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world, the Son of God, God coming to people through His Son. And so we respect the sanctity of Christmas, and any language that will associate to such sacredity of Christmas should not suggest otherwise. A language that will suggest corruption around Christmas and suggest other dirty things around Christmas, I think that is where the Christian body is saying it is not good, and we frowned at it and said this is not the best way to handle it. However, we are not judging the movie. We don't judge the movie, but the title of the movie speaks volumes. And that is why we are saying it is not good. To your issue of whether we speak for all Christian individuals, no, we don't speak for Christian individuals' opinion. Rather, we speak for the institution, Christian Association of Nigeria, particularly on issues that affect Christians, doctrines, and issues that are sensitive to our faith. We stand to speak for them, but not that we are enforcing individuals' opinion to be uniform as Christians. No, we speak for the institution. We speak for the body of Christ.
Thank you, Reverend. So you're basically saying that you don't even need to see the movie to make your judgment. Because I want to ask, have you seen the movie, or have you seen the trailer of the movie, or it doesn't really matter at this point?
No, well, movies, like I said, we Nigerians, Christians in Nigeria, we don't oppose to creativity industry at all. We are happy, but the title is our major concern. And that is why we are saying, no, look at the title. Whatever is there in the movie is a story. Even Jesus Christ was using stories to illustrate, using parable to illustrate truths. But the title, being it associated to a sacred word, Christmas is not just a festive level.
There's such a thing as sensory board. Am I right, Ini? Yes. A censors board that watches these movies before they approve of it. So doesn't that play a significant role, the fact that it was approved by the sensory board in the first place? Because if you feel as strongly as you do now about the title, how come it didn't reflect on the sensory board when they approved it? Because they approved, they approved the movie.
Not approach.
Do you think you should have been approached before the movie was launched? Do you think Cannes should have been approached before the movie was launched because of the title?
Yeah, I think since something has to do with faith and has to do with doctrine, which you know that Christmas is one of the things that join the entire body, whether you're a Catholic, whether you're Protestant, you're a Pentecostal, we all believe Christmas. We participate because it's the birth of Jesus Christ, which I said is the Savior of the world. And so I think something like that, it would have been appropriate for whoever is concerned to approach the body of Christ, and possibly from the beginning. So that will be my submission.
I don't know how practical that is, because Cannes doesn't play any role when it comes to the movie industry business. There is a regulatory board for that, just like you have regulators for every other sector in the economy. So I don't know whether seeking Cannes approval, so to speak, would be necessary if there's any movie that is faith-based. Because as long as it's approved by the sensory board, I really don't see the relevance of Cannes playing a major role in its decision whether it should go on air or not. But let's ask Ini. What's your take on that?
I am actually not saying...
Okay, go on. Sorry. Reverend, go ahead. Go ahead, Reverend.
Yeah, I'm not saying they should seek Cannes approval.
Okay.
But I think I am saying we should promote dialogue.
Okay.
Dialogue in the sense that the movie industry and our sister who is in forefront of this movie should have promoted dialogue with Cannes, knowing the sensitivity of religion in our country.
Okay, let me...
I don't believe that when you are going to use such words associated to Christmas and knowing the sensitivity in our country today that has to do with religion, you will just go and place it on public domain without promoting dialogue.
Okay, let me ask you that question. You just heard what the Reverend said. Do you agree with his suggestion that maybe you should have consulted Karen? Or then again, what was crossing your mind when you made the movie? Did you think it was going to be this deep?
Oh my God! Honestly,
and then from those who haven't, what message do you want to give those who are making these assumptions based on this brouhaha?
Well, first and foremost, I do appreciate Khan's standpoint. I mean, I get that it's a sensitive time, and especially in the country today, with what Christians are going through all over the country. But in all honesty, for us as filmmakers, the protocol is when you have a title and you have a synopsis of a story, the protocol is to go through the censors board, which we did. So at that point in time, you're expecting kickbacks for anything that doesn't sit right. You don't expect to get approved if it's not, if it hasn't gone through that process. So after it's gone through that process, you have been cleared to go on air, to go on film, which is exactly the steps that we took. I have never heard where we've had to go through Cannes or anything like that. I mean, if it was out there for us to know that, okay, before you make a film that involves anything about, and besides, this has nothing to do with religion, really. The title of the film is just what happened, like I said, in a family around the period of Christmas. But however, since the word dirty is what is the focus point here, I wish that the censors board had told us, okay, this title might bring any kind of, it might cause any kind of uneasiness with this other organization. Obviously, we know how much we hold Cannes in high esteem. That's like the body of, they're like the people protecting the body of Christ. You know, as a devout Christian, I would never just want to do anything that would go contrary or that would eke any Christian for that matter, because we are all one, and you know, we all know how much we value our faith. So, but in this situation, we felt like since we've gone through the censors board and we've gotten approval, you know, we are not thinking about it from a religious angle. We are thinking about it from a creative point of view. It's just a situation that happened around Christmas. And amongst us, we have all the members of our team are Christians, and it didn't quite come off like it was something that would hurt anybody or that would be offensive to the Christendom. If anybody had raised that concern, we didn't have to use that title. We could have used another title. And so, because we've gotten clearance from censors board as expected, we went on to do the film. And from the minute we started working on this film, we've been very public with the name. We've been very public with the title. We've been, the entire year, we've been promoting this film, social media materials, just literally singing the name, you know what I mean? Because obviously it was a Christmas film. I'm also using Christmas is also to make it sit well during the Christmas season. And then my concern is just that nobody reached out during that period where we were going through promotions or where we were just filming and just talking about the film in general. If we had anybody express any concern, then we would have been like, okay, we would have found a way to, at that time, you know, but exactly. The problem was that 2 days right after, in fact, a day after the release, this film was already in cinemas. We made a big premiere for it. And then we got that letter from Cannes, you know, published. You know, as a person, I felt like, okay, at this point, what do we do? The promotional materials are all over 70-something cinemas in the country. We have billboards all over the place. The film is already in cinemas. It's locked already. It's hardly a thing you can do to change the film that is already showing, because you're banking on people going out to watch this film because you've already released. And then when you begin to have those kinds of controversy, it sort of just throws everything off, because now you're looking at, they told us, okay, look, you look into, try to change the title. But because of the time that this film is already out there in the market, it makes it more difficult, and it makes it a bit almost too harsh on us, because that way we have to start thinking of pulling out the promotional materials, and then how do you even go to the cinema to bring out the film? The financial implication, which is crazily high, and then are you going to start all over again? I just wished that we had those concerns mentioned when we were still promoting, because it was really public.
But has any member of Cannes actually physically, or have you tried to physically approach any member of Cannes to even have a table, sit down one-on-one to, you know, explain more explicitly?
We do not have any, I don't have any personal contact with any Cannes member. The person that came to us, or that reached out to us, was the censors board.
Okay.
Because they
are the voice.
They were the so we hoped that they would be able to say, no, we have gone through the script, we have seen the movie, because obviously a day or two after the release, nobody had seen the film. This film does not in any way demean or disrespect or do anything that should actually really hurt any Christian. As if there's anything, it's a very clean film that families would watch, and you can watch with your kids and get a good message. Because at the end of the day, there's strong message in this film, other than the moral angle of it, which is very, very, very prominent as well, is the fact that there is an uncovering of a cartel, something that is happening in Nigeria, which is fake food, fake drinks, fake all those sort of things. These are the things that the movie, exposes at the end of the day, highlights, as much as the family dynamic angle of the love, the forgiveness, and just the togetherness of a family in the time of chaos.
Okay. Now, let me ask Edgar, because you've heard what the Reverend said about maybe Inedu should have approached them and, before launching the movie, even though at the end of the day, the censory board is the one that is supposed to have done that on your behalf. They are the regulators. So I want to ask you, Edgar, how dangerous is it for public judgment to form before the content is fully consumed? And does that partial information tend to escalate controversy disproportionately?
Okay, so what has just happened here now is the total unraveling of that institution they call CAN. You see, that institution has passed its sell-by date. I don't even see that.
Why would you say that?
I don't even see that relevance. I'm very happy the man has said now that they don't represent Christians. So this is them just trying to...
But they're supposed to be representing Christians.
They're not supposed to represent any Christian.
It's Christian Association of Nigeria.
Yeah, but I can form it. I can form my own. They don't have to represent any Christians. I can form my own. So they form their own to protect their own whatever interests that it is that they want to protect. Now what they've done now is that they've stepped out of even their own ethos or their own what's the word now? You get to now go into something that they know nothing about, have no capacity to comprehend, and they've gotten it blown up in their faces. You can just heard the man right now. You've not watched the movie. You don't know what the intent is.
But he's arguing that it's the symbolism of the title.
That's what I'm telling you. There's what symbolism of what title? Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. There's no symbolism of any title. So, for example, in Palestine, in some of these countries where they have issues, you get there's violence, and so it was a bloody Christmas. Do you get? So the kind of those countries now go there and say they want to do this thing. See, the problem we have in this country right now is people not understanding where they stand. And the problem here now is not even with CAN, is with the census board. Do you get me now? Who allow themselves to be bullied by this set of people over this issue.
So you believe that CAN is bullying?
CAN should have stood because according to her, do you get? They went through all the processes. She's the practitioner here now. Yeah. So she has to be politically correct. I don't have movie for anybody to ban. Nobody can do anything. So I'll say my truth. You see, if she had gone through the processes, census board have okayed it, have given them the green light, and then these people now come with their cassock to say whatever they're saying. Then somebody say, look, we did this.
Yes.
Do you get? We stand by you. Do you get me now? Now, maybe that's not to say that, maybe we made a mistake while doing it. So we can go back and review. But take the hit.
Okay, the censory board should be taking the hit, not...
Yes, no, but censory board now just pull back and say whatever. You get, but the question censory board shouldn't be asking, because I just asking
no, are you saying the censory board have pulled back and not giving her the defense that she needs?
Well, somewhere I heard that they've asked you to change the title or something.
Oh, the censory board actually came to you and said you should change it?
So that means
they advised.
How would they advise you? They approved of it in the first place.
God bless you. That means that they've pulled back. They've done what your Bible call Moye. They dodge and the bullet comes to her. But the question is that who is been firing this bullet? Do you get? Who is CAN in this matter? Do you get me now? Who is CAN? What gives them the platform, the authority to want to regulate a creative industry, a creative something? Do you get me now? The country is just messed up.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I remember there was another movie as well about kidnappers and terrorism or whatever. And I think there was also a request to ban it. So one now begins to wonder that if you seek truth and your storyline relates to what is happening in everyday Nigeria, why ban?
Can I say something, please?
After all, it's your artistic creativity.
Can I say something and keep quiet?
That's been used here.
Can I say two things and keep quiet?
Yeah.
Two things and keep quiet. You see, your institution, your body, you get, must begin, you get, to behave with a sense of seriousness.
What, the censory board?
No. The creative industry.
Okay, industry.
Because you see, creativity, do you get me now, must be handled with responsibility, but must also have boundaries. Do you get? Now, if this goes, now what is stopping attention of something.
What do you mean? If this ban goes,
through, stopping every creative because they're going to offend everybody.
Yes.
The other day somebody did something on there, and they took him to court, and they lost so much. Do you get? That's one. Two, and I'll keep quiet now. If this man is listening carefully now, if you want to maintain your relevance as you progress in this country, then you must morph into an SRO. An SRO is a self-regulatory organization. Every day we hear funny stories about your membership doing all sorts of things.
Yeah.
You get, you are not looking at those things. You get, you're not saying anything about those things, and then little pretty girl now comes with dirty Christmas, and then you cut all of your weight and chase him. If you can't morph into an SRO, you will go into extinction. You are already in extinction. What is your membership base? What's your membership base? How many people are members of your churches are empty? Because you do not have that relevance, because you do not understand, you get me now, your role in the system. Your problem is not Dirty December.
Okay, let's go on the break now. I think let's go on the break. We'll get right back. So, Reverend, you'll be my next I'll ask you the next question. So, see you right back on Perspective. Grab a cup of tea, as I always say, and see you soon. Welcome back to Perspectives. Please, can we have Reverend Palm in the house, please? Now, Reverend Palm, you've listened to what Edgar said. And,
Yes.
critics have also said that, Khan seems more vocal on cultural issues than scandals involving faith pastors, embezzlement, or even Christian genocide. What's your take on this? Because whether I would like it or not, there has been a lot of pressure on your organization with the kind of stories we've been hearing about pastors, fake pastors. So they feel they are not, instead of dealing with the pastors that work under your umbrella, you are talking about the title of a movie?
Well, thank you so much, Ruth. I've listened to all the conversation, and I'm happy that some points were made very clear. But I want to start by saying I am from the northern part of this country, and our concern on the movie had not been on whether taking authority or not taking authority, whether the stories in the movie or what happened to, we're not judging the stories in the movie. But as somebody who grew from this part of the country, for instance, we know how sensitive religion is. If you are going to play a movie on Ramadan, let's give example, and you are a Muslim, like our sister have said, proudly a Christian, there is no how you will not approach the religious leaders to let them know, so that you will be guided.
Can I pause you there, please, Reverend?
So that you will be guided.
Reverend, can I just pause you there for a minute?
Yes.
The movie I was talking about earlier on, it's called The Nerd. And that was a film about banditry, about kidnappers, and just generally about insurgents of insecurity on the roads. And I don't think that they approached a Muslim body like you have a Christian body. I don't think they were approached as well, but there was also a call for that to be banned. So at what point does creativity stop? When you have to seek the opinions of bodies like a Christian body or a Muslim body. Isn't that what the regulatory board is there for?
That's why I'm giving an example.
I know, that's why I spoke about
that's
that movie,
why I'm giving an
The
example as.
But isn't that what the regulatory board is there for?
Yeah.
The Herd, sorry. The movie called The Herd. Isn't that what the regulatory board is meant to do? Rather than dealing with the artistic expressions and creators, why shouldn't the regulatory board now decide to consult with you guys instead of expecting the movie maker to be the one consulting with you? Isn't that what the regulatory board is there for?
Ruth, if you will allow me to say a word.
Oh, sorry, I'm afraid. Sorry.
What I'm trying to say is that, what I'm trying to say is that the unity of this country, the unity of our communities, particularly in the north and even in the south, is basically to some extent on the mutual respect of our religion sacred beliefs. We respect each other. We have seen crises in this country that had to do with some little misunderstanding on the aspect of belief. I am not suggesting that we are violent or we should go violent. You know that Christians have been very peaceful and demonstrating peacefully. So I am only saying that when it comes to issues that are sacred, issues that have to do with doctrinal beliefs, we should be able to take them very serious and enlarging our conversation. Enlarging our conversation is not bad. When you enlarging your conversation, for instance, I am happy with Arise. What we're doing here is dialogue. We are enlarging it to talk about it. There is nothing wrong. So when you enlarging it, you talk to principal actors that you include. A theological word is being included there. And so as a Christian, you should be able to think that let me approach my fathers in the Lord. Let me approach my pastor, even not for anything, for prayer. Let me also approach the higher authorities in the religious body that I am going to use this word. And you know that titles functions as messaging to the public what you are about to see. It may not be accurately what you are seeing, but it serves. And some people don't even go through the book. They look at the title alone. And so to us, it's very, very important that such consideration will have been taken. Secondly, when our brother is talking of corrupt pastors and fake pastors and all the rest, you may not know the level of our involvement. That is why we do not, the Christian Association of Nigeria do not stop the social media on exposing corrupt pastors. We've never written anywhere and say, stop, don't do this on this pastor. Because we stand for light. We stand for truth. However, we come in there in families. The Christian Association of Nigeria is an association. It is not a fellowship. These pastors belong to a fellowship. They belong to a denomination. We have 5 families that form the Christian Association of Nigeria, starting with the Catholic Secretariat and the Church Council of Nigeria, CCN, which the Catholic, Methodist, Baptist, and all the rest are involved. And then go to the Tekant Ekwa, which are mostly dominated here in the north. And then you go to the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria and CPFN, which is all over globally. You see them everywhere. People who are presidents of their churches and those who even don't have leadership under them, they are the president of their own church and the rest. Okay. They fall under that.
Thank you.
And then you also come to Organization of African Instituted Churches. And so when these people are messing up, there are various authorities. It must not come to CAN direct. Those people are handling it at their own level. For the fact that you see it on the social media, I wanted you to say that CAN has interrupted the social media not to expose any pastor. Then I would have said, well, CAN didn't do well. But we allow, if there are fake pastors, let them be exposed, let them answered. Let them go to different authorities and answered. So we are not against it. But what we're against is that when you come with a doctrinal word, a sacred word that has to do with the church, it is our duty as CAN to protect and preserve
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Our moral heritage.
Reverend Pam, when these pastors, these fake pastors are exposed and there's evidence to show that they are fake or they have done things unworthy of the title or whatever that it is that they have been given, what are the disciplinary measures? Because I've not heard of any pastor whose license, I don't know whether to use the word license, whose authority has been seized to continue to preach. I've not heard of one pastor that they say, oh, he's not a pastor anymore. They've closed down his church or whatever. Has anything been done to these people who are accused in these things? The controversial pastors, have their churches been closed? Or it still exists?
I can say it of my own denomination. We suspend pastors when they are found guilty.
But CAN represents all denominations.
And I can say of different.
CAN
yes, that's why I say CAN is an association.
Yes. So that's that.
Yes, so it represents.
Yes. So this controversial pastors.
The discipline for pastors. Can you allow me? The discipline for pastors goes directly to their administrative leadership.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, there is Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. They have to speak on some pastors. And if you go down to the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, they still also have denominations. Like my denomination, Assembly of God, is under the Pentecostal Fellowship. So we discipline our pastors, not necessarily taking it to Pentecostal Fellowship.
Okay, thank you very much.
So all denominations have their own way of discipline. It is not CAN that does that. But CAN's responsibility speaks on issues that has to do with sensitivity of our body, sensitivity of Christianity. If there is anything like persecution of the church, we speak on it. And I have been vocal on persecution of Christians. But when it comes to discipline, it goes to various people, various church denominations.
Okay, thank you very much, Reverend. Ini, we've heard what the explanation the Reverend has given over this matter. But I want to ask, how much does this affect you? Given how hard it is to raise funds for Nigerian films, do you understand? How hard has this controversy affected you financially?
You know, like I said, Auntie, it's...
And also, does this not discourage the artistic expression?
It does. It limits your creative expressions.
Yes.
It sort of, because, first of all, for me, okay, let's even go about it like the fact that, you know, the word itself, it's what is really offensive. You know, when you make a film, it's a lot of money.
Even tell us the process.
Exactly. You know, sourcing for investors to get actors to put the crew and the cast together. It takes you over 3 weeks to do the filming, and sometimes, like in our case, we had to reshoot certain things, and then you go into editing, the promotion. It's so expensive. And, you know, in my case, I have like 3 investors sitting on this project with over hundreds of millions of naira. CAN being like our religious fathers and mothers, or as the case may be, you know, when the film got released and then that publication was made almost immediately, I feel like if there was a way they had reached out to say, okay, this is the advice we're giving, this is not, as opposed to just, because the minute it got done publicly like that, it changed the narrative of what the story was supposed to be. The focus now became, the focus, everybody chose, exactly. And therefore that would affect your sales, because people are contemplating, should we watch it, should we not watch it? Oh, the CAN says we should boycott it. And Census Board is also saying, okay, change the title. You know, so for me, I felt like, you know, they allow you to make this investment, make this whole investment, and then you put it out there only for it to be is it even practical? Discredited. So
change the title.
It's not, well, it's not like it's not practical. It's just it would cost so much because the timing. So what it means is you pull the film out of the cinema, you go on a different, like you change the entire thing.
And
it's going to
start
cost,
everything all
and
over
start
again.
all over again.
My
you
goodness.
know, that's the reason why I said we had Census Board who was supposed to have highlighted that this may be an issue and maybe taking it up with CAN, as that was not done and we got the approval. I still feel like as our religious body who is governing, who is in charge of us Christians, maybe a private way to have communicated that, to say, okay, let's figure out a way to do this so that it doesn't affect the perception of the film. What that meant, it did was that he already split the public into two. People who are curious to see the film because of what they've said about it, or people who feel like they don't want to touch it at all. So that feels like a sabotage on the project. And for a project that you are also you're portraying Christians in a good way, now the story of the project, for it to now be received with that whole mixed reactions and, controversy, kind of like just thwarts your entire efforts. It just makes...
Go on, finish.
Yeah, it thwarts your efforts, sabotages the essence of the film. Now we're struggling with trying to convince people that, okay, the film doesn't have, the content itself has nothing to do with the title. It was just a situational, because we didn't say a dirty Christ. We didn't say that. Our mindset was that Christmas is a period, and this thing happened within this period, in this family. The story itself actually glorified, because my character was born again from beginning till the end, like a real strong, fanatical born again who managed to bring back peace and stability and reconciliation to that family. So as opposed to it taking away from Christians or dishonoring Christians, it actually did, promote God, which is what I would always, set out to do.
So that means you're still going ahead with the promotion, regardless of what Kanye said?
No, because they've advised what Censors Board has advised us to do.
Stop it?
Censors Board has a right to stop it.
But has Censors Board actually stopped it?
No, they have not stopped it.
So they've advised that you continue?
Yeah, but we should now look at changing the title. So
but
now we have to
change. Difficult as...
It is difficult, but I mean, if that's what they've asked us to do... Are you going to
change the title?
We are working on it. We are working on it, actually. We are working on it. It's just we have to raise funds to be able to do that, and then that's just distracts you from even promoting the film.
Yeah.
Because as we speak now, I'm supposed to be out there in cinemas promoting this film, getting people to come and watch it. But I'm here talking about this, so it takes away from the entire effort. It takes away from the success of what would have been the success of the story. So it kind of cripples you mentally, emotionally, and otherwise.
I hear that promoting a film sometimes it's almost as much as making the film in itself.
If not more, actually, because you are in the midst of other films.
How are you going to now make profits from this?
I really don't know how. That's the point where when I think about it, I just really feel like I just wish that they had treated me with more love. They had treated me with more consideration, before just going public with the entire thing. Like I said, they have a right to how they feel and their opinion, but just looking at the fact that this movie has already been released, and I would feel like if they had seen the content to know that, okay, this actually doesn't disrespect Christians in any way.
There's symbolism. They're not looking at the content, they're just looking at the
But Christian is teaching us how to love and treat each other with love and, be kind to one another. For me, it just felt very unkind of them. It felt like they let me step out in the public and then they created this whole
and they just threw
chaos.
Me to the wolves.
They just threw me in the wolves just 2 days after release.
Let me ask Edgar one major question. As harrowing as this sounds, do you understand? Do you think there's a good and bad side of it? In terms of the controversy it has ignited, do you think what effect do you think it might have on the sales of the movie itself?
Okay, so she has been thrown into a deep hole, but that doesn't mean she can't come out of it. So she may...
Do you think the controversy might even make people want to now watch the movie?
Obviously.
If nothing else.
Yeah, because I think this controversy has made more people hear about this movie than they would have. But there's still that challenge of her coming out of that hole that's raising more funds to recalibrate all of that. And then there's also the big challenge of also missing a very significant proportion of the December period. You get that? Because this is a seasonal. You get it? So a lot of people look for what to do this period. So this is when movie makers cash out, So this would affect that. But you see, the issue here now is this particular program is to talk about her issue. But there are two major issues here now that maybe you need.
Do you think there's a sense of hypocrisy as well with public judgment against the movie?
No, public is not judging. That's the thing. The public is not interested. There's no public. There's no public
perception.
Perception. Nothing. Public is not judging.
No, a few people have made opinions.
No. See, listen carefully. You see, we are 200 million people. So the movie market is huge.
Yeah.
Do you get? Now, is this speaking to the movie market? I think not. Do you get? Because Khan is lightweight in these issues. And you get in this particular area, Khan is lightweight. So all Khan can do, if you look at Khan very well, based on this his analysis, delineation of the 5 arms and make up Khan. Do you get me now? Where is the majority? Pentecostal. If you look at it, plus or minus. Are you getting me now? Now, so do they have that weight? Do you get me now? To affect a move towards the audience, towards the movie theater. Do you get? I think the only person that can really do major damage to her is censors board. They are the ones that can say, okay, know something, pull this thing out.
Just before because we only have a minute to go, I also heard about the show times. Like, what challenges have you been facing with that one? Quickly.
Well, it's a major challenge because the show times, I mean, our exhibitors, of which we depend them to be able to distribute our films. We can't do it on our own. It's just an issue of sometimes you getting like really awkward show times, like morning show times, and then sometimes not even getting show times at all. Or sometimes you have show times announced, and then people get to the cinemas and they'll tell them, oh, this particular film is not showing. We don't really know what the issue is, and we just are asking because I think the fight is for movie makers in general. It's not a fight between one person and the other. It's a fight to say, look, just give us a level playing ground, give us reasonable showing times, just like other films are getting. Let every film get equal.
But isn't that automatic? Shouldn't it be automatic?
It's not automatic.
It airs 3 times a day or whatever.
No, it's not automatic. It's not automatic.
There's a finite number of cinema houses.
Yes.
There's a finite number of hours.
Yes.
You get? So there has to be some level
balance,
of balance.
Yes. And they have the right to choose what time they want to put your film and on whatnot. And the thing is, obviously, that just considering the number of halls they have, they can only, all the films can be in the, let's say 5-6 p.m. for instance. So at least if you have a morning show, you should be able to also get a mid show and an evening show. Okay. And then the issue of sometimes people showing up to the cinemas and not, being told the films are not showing is also a challenge. We don't know if it's a technical glitch or if it's we don't want to think that it's intentional.
I think that's something that you filmmakers should create a body and create a voice
to regulate
for regulation. But unfortunately, we don't have much time. I've really run out again as usual. Thank you so much, Edgar. Joseph Edgar, thank you so much, Iniedu, and thank you so much, Reverend Yakubu Pam, for being with us this morning. I really appreciate all of your contribution to this very sensitive issue. Now, this discussion shows how complex faith, creativity, and public perception can be, and how sensitive cultural and religious issues remain. To viewers, do not judge a book by its cover. Engage with the story, weigh all the perspectives, and then decide for yourself. In the end, it is your choice to decide how to interpret, respond to, and engage with the movie and the conversation it has sparked. That's all we have time for today. You've been watching Perspectives here on Rise with me, Rososime. Until next week, where we shall be celebrating the new year, do stay safe and goodbye.